Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Walking Dead. The Ones Who Live episode 2 recap and breakdown. Michonne returns to kick ass. Warning, spoilers ahead. The long-awaited The Walking Dead spin-off, The Walking Dead. The Ones Who Live premiered last week, and it featured an epic reunion between Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, and Michonne Guerrera, two franchise anchors whose departure from the flagship series was a massive creative and emotional loss. The first episode of The Ones Who Live quickly introduced us to Rick and his activities since the bridge catastrophe in Season 9. The second episode of the spin-off, Gone, focuses on Michonne and the side characters she meets on her mission to find Rick. Michonne must make a decision in The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. While Episode 1 felt like a whole new series and an exciting departure from what we were used to with The Walking Dead, Episode 2 of The Ones Who Live feels like a return to form. Instead of continuing on Rick's adventurous journey, Gone slows things down, feeling more like an extension of the main series than anything else. The episode masterfully brings Rick and Michonne's narrative full circle, but it takes 2/3 of a somewhat unneeded secondary character backstory to do so. The end of last week's episode reunited us with Michonne, who was dressed in the strange samurai outfit seen in The Walking Dead season finale. If you're wondering how she got the armor, you'll get an answer fairly fast. And no, it isn't the Gap. A title bar informs us that it has been 6 years since the bridge explosion, probably around the time Michonne left the show in Season 10 to look for Rick, and we are once again getting to know a new town. This group has a rule that they will not stop to help anyone in their group who is suddenly in a jam, which is the polar opposite of what a community is. Through some exposition, we find that the man and woman Michonne saved, Bailey Andrew Batchelor and Aiden Breda Wool, are members of this commune, and Aiden's sister Elle controls it. Michonne, played by Guerrera, has a thanks, but no thanks attitude towards joining the gang and is eager to continue her journey to Bridger's shipyard in New Jersey. But it's Nat Matthew Jeffers, a plucky no-nonsense member of the group with a heart of gold, who persuades Michonne to join them instead of trekking north and getting caught up in the migration, a strange occurrence involving a bunch of walkers, migrating at the time. The Ones Who Live episode 2 should have focused more on Michonne. Strangely, Michonne did not feel like the star of her own episode. It's not that she doesn't get enough screen time in the episode. Rather, she appears to be competing for it with these new auxiliary characters. While Nat, Bailey, and Aiden are important parts of Michonne's story in The Ones Who Live, much of the discussion focuses on learning more about these three new characters. Despite their circumstances, they are a cheerful group, bringing out a side of Michonne we rarely witness. Michonne briefly declines their offer and decides to do it alone, but she now has a horse and some armor to keep her company. Her attempt at this, as well as her radio transmissions to Virginia, Judith, and RJ, are unsuccessful. Michonne did bite off more than she could chew with a horde of the Wailing, but fortunately for her, Nat, Aiden, Bailey, and a few others chose to follow Michonne and leave their heartless town behind. The episode moves slowly and deliberately, with them joking around by a campfire. It's strange how Michonne's personal problems can persuade them to quit their town and follow her in search of Rick, but it makes their outcome all the more sad. When a CRM helicopter drops chlorine bombs, drying up everyone's lungs and throats, putting a clear halt to their plans, and providing these characters with a much-needed reality check, their upbeat spirit is quickly deflated. Thank you for watching.